I think it's safe to rest here now. Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Right. Well? Got it. Right.
We've reached our destination.
Gotta break through! Take this! Here I come! So how about this? Blow away!
It's like trying to keep up with a
Here
wall!
I come! You're finished! Head first! This one's all mine! You're finished! I'm not done! Sword Rain Alpha! Burn!
You're most comfortable at a range, aren't you? I'm not really built for close quarters combat. Astral energy!
Say no more!
Easy peasy, ha hoodle.
Didn't even break a sweat. All we have to do is get rid of that thing, right?
An opponent like this should be easy. It's over! First strike! I'll run you through! Sword Rain Alpha! Rising Wyvern! I'm on it! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off! Take this! Sword Rain Alpha! You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That looks like the Zoogle we were told about.
Right, here goes!
Spear!
You're finished! You're mine! Sword Ring Alpha!
These lips can do rings around us. Who wants to die next? In the wind! In here!
I'm not done.
Who wants to die next? I'm out one. I'm all stopped
Take
now.
it.
Cross-blading! There's the Zoogle we were asked to handle.
It's on!
Take this!
There!
Not today!
Now getting started!
Sword Ring Alpha!
More
Do it, Flank it!
Whatever you do, just stay away
These
from the
little
sword!
ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Astral energy!
Say no more!
I think Hoodle senses something.
Always good to be back in familiar territory. Mm-hmm.
I hear a voice. Somebody's asking for help.
Hopefully it's nothing that'll be too hard to deal with.
Oh! I guess.
All right.
How's this?
Oh. How's this?
Wow. Thanks. I was wondering why she'd gone quiet. She's still eating.
There's no point in reading it unless you plan on making it.
We finally made it.
Right!
Damn.
I guess. You see anybody around here who could use our help?
We can't chase after every little thing.
Oh, hey!
Right.
Yeah!
All right.
Hmm?
Yeah!
Hey. Hmm? Hmm. Ah.
Did we get everything?
Yeah, let's report back to Bregan.
Thanks for letting me stick around, you guys.
Sure, we're happy to have you. But are you sure you don't want to head back to Calaglia?
Yeah. I'm not sure how I can help yet. But for now, I'm going to follow Alphen and see what happens next.
Where does that drawbridge connect to?
No idea, but I've seen it get lowered. It can't be lowered from this side anyway, so it's useless to us. It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
You're finished! You're done! Sword Rain Alpha! You're mine! Dragon Force!
We're on the home astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Here I come! You're finished!
You are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
In here!
Take this! Dragon Force!
That's what I like to hear.
Finally.
What is it?
I found an ingredient for that new recipe.
be a delicious piece of
Damn it!
cake.
Strike!
Serious
Not today!
Reload! Lightning
Come on!
raging
You
lightning!
made quick work of it.
Now!
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
No choice! You're mine!
Raging cascade of an eye.
Try harder!
Tectonic
My
force!
turn.
The company! Get on
Try
here
and
with
force.
you!
Now you see what I can do.
Take it! One more!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Right. It's showtime!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Now I'm in the groove.
You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
You made quick work of it.
Want me to pick up your slack
In
then?
here!
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade. Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again!
That equipment should come in handy.
Ow! Hey, when did I get so popular? I'm on it.
Flare tornado!
Here I come! You're finished!
I'm on.
Sword Rain Alpha!
You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
We're in good form!
Hey, it's that ingredient.
Yeah, the one for that recipe.
Right, here goes!
Raging cascade!
Where are you going?
I'm like bait to them.
Now!
You got the...
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! Nice one, Alphin.
Yeah, there's more where that came from.
What's wrong?
Really?
Ah!
Sure.
Hey,
Ah!
Right.
right. Nice work. What?
Hey!
Well? What? she on?
What?
Very nice.
Boy, talk about a spry old man.
I can't wait to see him again.
You really liked that apple pie, didn't you?
Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies!
Heck of a lot of fish swimming around in this pond, huh?
Are they edible?
Sure, they're edible, but we've got no way to catch any.
I hate camping out.
Gotta break through! Dragon
Don't
Swarm!
mind if I do!
They got me flanked!
Burn in hell!
Light
Here I come! Yeah, I'll be okay.
Take this!
Field!
It's over!
Here's a hero!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help.
Astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Armor won't save me!
They beat me to it.
Gotta be quick, or I'll take them all myself.
Oh, like hell you will. You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back. I guess even someone as fashionable as you wouldn't know a whole lot about Dan and armor, right?
Not really, no. Like, what's with that scarf? I don't remember that being with any of the armor we found back there.
Oh, well, remember how you told me you thought I'd look good wearing some blue? I took your advice to heart and decided to give it a go.
Oh, I see. Well, it suits you.
Would you say I've learned to spruce things up like you suggested?
I wouldn't go that far.
Hey, that actually came out pretty all right, don't you think?
Mind if I join you, Law?
Hey, Alphen, when do you find the time to train?
What's brought this on all of a sudden?
It's just, even without the blazing sword, you'd still be able to hold your own, right? But I never see you training.
I'd hardly call it a regimen. Unless exchanging blows with Zeugles counts.
I mean, sure, I get that real-life practice beats training any day, but you must have the odd trick or two up your sleeve.
I just told you, I really don't.
Wait, I've got it. It's your armor, right? You channel the extra weight into your strikes and...
It's actually not as heavy as it looks.
So not the armor, huh? In that case...
Just calm down a little, would you? Why are you so fixated on this anyway?
Well, because I want to make myself stronger.
You're strong enough as it is. I almost feel sorry for those Renan soldiers.
It's not enough. I need to keep working to get stronger. I won't allow myself to fail anyone again.
Law?
I'm useless the way I am now. If someone else dies because of me...
Law!
Sorry. Spiraling into self-doubt won't do me any favors. I know that.
None of us are invincible, Law. We're all just getting by, doing the best we can.
That's all we can ask of each other, right? It's as good a place as any to start, I guess.
To start what?
My new training regimen, of course. And what better way to kick it off than push-ups? 1, 2, 3, 4...
I admire your enthusiasm. Just don't overdo it, okay?
Just wait. You'll see how strong I can get. See you guys tomorrow. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
Law?
Yeah, sorry. Just a little travel weary is all. Looking forward to finally getting out of here, you know?
Still beating yourself up about your dad, aren't you?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But that's not what I was just thinking about.
Oh?
I never did tell you how I ended up hanging around with the Snake Eyes, did I?
Not properly. All I know is you had a falling out with your dad and ran away from home.
Getting to Cislodia almost killed me. Once there, though, I actually ended up joining a resistance organization, believe it or not. Of course, before long, someone ratted us out. And we were ambushed by the Snake Eyes. I'd never seen such brutality. If I hadn't surrendered...
Law?
I don't know why. They let me live. They made me watch as they butchered my friends right in front of my eyes. I still have nightmares. I hear roars of Zeugles as my friends scream, the snow stained red with blood, and all the while those bastards laughing. I thought that with Ganabelt defeated, I'd be able to put it all behind me. Turns out that was a little optimistic. I was terrified they would kill me too. So I wound up betraying the memory of my friends and getting my old man killed in the process. I wonder if I'm any braver now. What if one day I panic again and end up running away like always?
And leave us behind? You really think you'd do that?
I hope not. But who's to say what I'm really capable of?
Ah! I found you.
Something wrong, Rinwell?
How very perceptive of you. When I turned around, you were gone, so we came back to look for you.
Maybe tell us next time you decide to stop? We need all our manpower to face these Zeugles.
Geez, okay. I can't help it when nature calls, can I?
Nature? Ew, gross! Here?
Let's make tracks, shall we?
I hope he makes it through this.
You invited him along. He's your liability.
He's Zephyr's son, Shion. What was I supposed to do? Just leave him?
Fine. Just don't come crying to me about it, all right? I've got enough deadbeats slowing me down as it is.
Why did people dig this path so far underground?
Maybe it was too dangerous on the mountains for them to traverse over them.
So you're saying that before Dana was conquered, Danans made this so that they'd have a way to get through the mountains?
If I had to guess, they might have even lived inside of these once upon a time.
Not like there's any way of knowing now. Not after all our history was lost.
No, it wasn't lost. It was stolen from us by the Renans because they thought slaves didn't need it. And because keeping it around would have made it harder to control us.
It's not all gone. Look at that over there.
What is it? It looks like a broken piece from a dish or something.
Probably. It's true the Renans erased a lot of our but first, we have to win the freedom to even look for it.
We'll win it all right. Then we'll reclaim our history.
Way! Dance in the wind! Yes! Air thrust! Light arc field!
You're mine! Be careful, everyone! This one isn't normal!
Free blaster!
Mind freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
You're finished! Take this! This one's all mine! Sword Rain Alpha! Here I come!
I'll be saving this one. No complaints from me. I guess Messia is the first place we met. Hala.
Yeah, I was a Snake Eye and you were a Silver Sword. Would have thought we'd end up on the same team.
You make an odd pair, it's true.
You guys are the odd ones, running with a Renin.
Be my guest.
This one's mine.
Freaking does it!
I'll be saving this one.
you!
Here I come! Sword Rain Alpha!
Dust to dust!
Do it!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
My lady?
Onward and upward. No choice!
They got me fired right now!
You're finished!
I'll end you! Big clap!
I'm not done! You're finished!
They may look cute and stuff, but they're victims!
Got
Do it!
fires!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Eat this!
Burn it out! Here I
Here
come!
goes!
Dust to dust!
Do it! One more! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now!
Here, let me
Sword
help.
Rain Alpha!
Here goes!
There you go!
Do it!
like me
Dance in the
again.
wind!
Take this!
There's always room for improvement.
Hungry.
Funny. I could have sworn that was your stomach making all the racket.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Now we see what I can do!
It's over. In here.
First right! Take this!
I'm ready. Is it hot? Just back it out again. Where are you going?
All back in their defense!
Glad you have your...
That's
extra art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
It's on!
Damn it! Not today! We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Raging cascade to the side. Spread. Dance in the wind. Menanciába.
Here I come! Dragon Claw!
I owe you one.
Now I'm in the groove.
Raging
Sword Lane Alpha!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alpha.
Should have
Very
met
bad.
with me.
I don't feel so good.
Here I come! It's over!
Okay, here I go.
I think I'm getting stronger.
Carve through armor.
Sword Lane Alpha! Sword Lane Alpha! Take this!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Got it!
Well
No,
done.
can't.
This one's mine.
Sword Lane Alpha!
That gun of yours is real heavy and thin.
It takes a true marksman to lose.
Well,
Here. This'll come in handy.
Looks like it could be worth something.
Go no further.
You're mine! You're finished! I'll run you through!
Blow away!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Dance in the wind. In here. Get on in there with you.
Eat this!
Lightning condemned.
I'm not done! Sword Lane Alpha!
Here's a healing art.
Blow away! Take this! Sword Lane Alpha!
look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
Nice one, Alphin.
Yeah, there's more where that came from.
No backing down.
I'm only getting started. Here
You're
goes.
mine! Dragon Sword! Come one, come all!
Glacial is in the sky.
Sword Lane Alpha! I'm on!
Smash you!
Light astral energy.
Sword Lane Alpha!
First
strike!
I'll run you through. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here.
You're mine! Sword Lane Alpha!
Away!
Dragon Sword!
Here, lightning I do.
Take this! Not a chance! Dragon Sword! Lightning
Now.
Wyvern! Still!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Looks like we won.
That equipment should come in handy.
Dispose of the trash.
Sword Rain Alpha! Crumble!
Annihilation Form!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Here's a healing arm!
Take this!
Light Astro Blast in the wind!
It's time!
This one's mine!
First strike!
Sword
Rain Alpha!
Pieces!
Ignite!
Armor won't save you!
You're mine!
Light Astro
Sword Rain Alpha!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
This is barely target practice.
Then why bother fighting them?
Because I certainly won't run away from a battle.
No choice! Come and face me!
Here's
Dragon Swarm!
Freaking does it!
Dragon Swarm!
Dance in the wind! Glacial Courier!
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon
I can't
Swarm!
hold on much longer!
Rising Wyvern!
Eagle Dawn!
I'm not done! Rising Wyvern! Take this!
It's showtime!
Okay, here I go! Sword Rain Alpha! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off! Dragon Swarm! You picked the wrong fight!
Smash you!
Eat
Now!
more! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again! An opponent like this should be easy. How about this? First strike!
In here!
Ta-da!
More for the stockpile!
This one's mine!
You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm only getting started! Where are you going?
Try harder! Dragon Swarm!
We are freaking invincible!
Alvin and the others truly are strong!
What about me? This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
There's more where that came from!
An opponent like this should be easy.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Hurricane! Eagle Dawn!
Dance in the wind!
Go time!
Air thrust!
This one's all mine.
Armor won't save you!
Raging
Take this!
in the shadows!
Sword Rain
The
Alpha!
sky is mine! Now!
Two!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
see you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say? Well then, let's keep moving. All this walking up and down is a pain.
Yeah, I wish we could just go straight through without all this hassle.
On the other hand, the collapsed parts let you reach some places you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Now that you mention it, the ceiling's not gonna come down on us, is it?
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little...
No choice. Okay, I'm on it.
I'm only getting started! By the power of water!
You're mine. It's over.
Anything you mind if I do?
Dance in the wind!
You're on. Sword Rain Alpha.
He's there for the stop time!
Here I come.
Hear me!
Rising Alpha. You're mine.
It looks like both weapons were covered.
I can carve through... Do it!
Come on. Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
See that?
That training's paying off. Sword Rain Alpha.
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good? What?
Play along, would you?
Eat them! First strike!
I never miss! We
You're mine!
You got
Dragon
it!
Swarm!
What a
You're on! Rising Wyvern!
My actual energy is all...
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing
Hurricane! Sword Rain Alpha! You're finished!
I'm only getting started! I'm on a
Sword
roll!
Rain Alpha!
So those are Dan and Astral Arts.
Something you want to say?
Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
I'm not done!
Now you see what I can do!
Sword Rain Alpha! Storm! Take
I'm
this!
just getting started!
Sword Rain Alpha!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Hey, Law. Back when we left Cisleden, you remember how you said so long as you don't give up, there's nothing to stop someone starting over?
Yeah?
Well, I think you did just that. You've set out on a new path despite what happened in your past. Besides, you're not the only one fumbling your way through things.
You too?
It was your dad who taught me to fight. Back at the start of all this, I knew that so long as I followed him, I wouldn't end up straying. But it was also your dad who told me the importance of becoming my own master, of searching out the answers within me. I always figured I would one day. But at the same time, I had so much more to learn. When he died, I suddenly found myself rudderless. Sure, our immediate goal is to defeat all the lords. But then what comes after that? There's no one left to point me in the right direction. It was then that I realized, no matter how much I fret about it, the only thing I can do is fight. Renin brutality isn't going to right itself. So that's what I'm doing. Fighting. And in the meantime, I'll try to figure out my next move. Right now, that's about all I can do.
And you really believe you got what it takes to win this? Against all the odds?
Yes, I do. Or at least I want to. If I'm being completely honest, sometimes I'm not really sure whether I can or not. So what if we're still figuring stuff out? If we do it together, then we can support one another along the way. Is there anything so wrong with that?
No, I don't think there is. I think I get it now. We may not know what we're capable of, but we have to try all the same.
Having another one of your secret meetings? Don't tell me you were taking yet another bathroom break?
Oh, we were just engaging in a bit of brotherly bonding. Isn't that right, Alphen?
Yeah, that's right.
Fine then, suit yourselves. Hey, I think I can feel a breeze up ahead. I bet the exit is real close.
Finally! Man, it's been too long since I felt the sun on my face. When I get in a tussle, I go full force right at him. Whoever makes the first move wins.
I do have to admit, it's quite the spectacle to watch you charge in and go to town on someone during a battle.
Yeah, it was actually my old man who taught me to fight that way. The more I lay the beat down on some baddies, the more fired up my fists of fury get.
Zephyr taught you? Wow. I guess you really are following in his footsteps.
There's nothing wrong with being so focused on offense, but the enemy always fights back at some point.
As long as I don't get hit, it's not a problem, right?
So what you're saying is you're too weak to take a hit.
You're not exactly one to talk.
What were you two talking about earlier?
Earlier? Oh, it was just serious guy talk. You know, the kind that girls don't get to hear.
Really?
Don't mind him, Rinwell. It's just... well, maybe it is a little difficult to talk about in front of women.
Difficult to talk about? Okay, now I really want to hear it. Unless... it's not the creepy sort of guy talk, right?
No! Okay, it's not creepy.
Okay, okay. As long as you're fighting fit, you can talk about whatever you like.
Say no more!
Well done.
Dragon form! Rising Wyvern! Take this!
Lightning is dead.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Searing flame. Reload.
You're mine!
Where are you going?
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here goes.
Dragon form! This time I do it!
Reload. Astral energy.
Say no more!
Here, let me help.
Sword Rain Alpha! You're done!
Thunder blade.
Take this! You're finished!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Searing flame.
I'm Sword Rain Alpha!
Now.
Talent Hurricane!
Nicely done.
They got me flanked!
Not still! Can you take care of them?
I can't hold on much. I'll be fine. I hope.
Are you trying to die? Take it easy!
Take this! You're mine!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that way.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
What a rush.
I think Hoodle senses something. We're finally here. Elde, Menanciába, the land of green. The place certainly lives up to its name, doesn't it?
Yeah, just feel that breeze. It's like night and day compared to Calaglia and Cislodia.
Unsullied, fertile land, as far as the eye can see. That's beautiful. Oh, what?
Oh, nothing. Just... I was thinking the very same thing.
That's the realm capital in the distance. The city of Vicent. A word to the wise before we continue. Elde Menanciába has produced more sovereigns over the years than any other.
Shion! Guess we should probably follow after her, shouldn't we? Hey, you all right, Law?
Yeah, fine. I was just thinking how Dad would have enjoyed this view. All this green in one place is incredible. Anyway, let's get moving before we start looking tasty to monsters.
Is he going to be okay?
Eventually. That's a wall he'll have to overcome on his own.
So if I remember right, there are 6 elements of astral energy, and darkness is only on Rena, and light can only be found on Dana, right?
Right. I only remember because my parents drilled it all into my head when I was little.
How did we find out about dark astral energy in the first place if it's not on Dana, though?
Beats me. I couldn't tell you how or when we figured out that sort of stuff. I'm sure there's other stuff we've forgotten along the way, too.
Yeah, I bet. And then we forget that knowledge was even forgotten at all, and it's back to square one.
Exactly. That's why we need to take good care of what knowledge and artifacts we still have left.
You really have a thing for old stuff, don't you?
Well, I don't know that I'd call it just a thing. It's also something that helps me feel connected to our world.
Connected?
It's nothing. Forget I even mentioned it. I should have guessed that there'd be no way he'd understand. How could he?
backing down!
Lightning condensed! Pierce the evil!
Eat this! You're done! Talon
Come on! Here I come!
Here, let me help.
This one's all mine!
Surrounding us!
Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
Pierce the
We
evil!
got flyers!
I've
It's
got
over!
this! Let a marksman handle it!
You're mine! All yours! You're finished! Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain
You
Alpha!
are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done
It
here,
must take guts to fight without a
Listen,
weapon.
girl, I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
Rising Wyvern!
If you're ever in a pinch, just say the word.
Your power is a spectacle to behold.
I'm not trying to be dramatic with it.
Dragon
Still,
Swarm!
it's a part of you. Embrace it.
Do it!
Eat this!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
I can feel my precision improving.
I think Hoodle senses something.
What's wrong? Huh?
Yes!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Mm-hmm.
Just great.
That can't be.
Nice.
Very well.
Maybe we should have left them alone.
Thanks, Shion.
Why are you thanking me? Should this really be here? I hate camping out.
Why do you keep staring at me, Shion?
Just, what is that wolf on your shoulder?
Oh, this thing? I love it! I got it off a street vendor for just 10 gold.
I don't know if that's something to brag about,
Hey, 10 gold's a bargain if you ask me.
because it wouldn't sell otherwise. It serves no practical purpose. Honestly, I'm surprised you paid 10 whole gold for it.
Shut up!
But the detail is so lifelike. I think you made a good choice, Law.
Really?
I have no idea why you wear it over your shoulder, though.
I think it looks pretty cool.
87! 88! 89! Oh, shoot!
What the? Is the enemy attacking?
Sorry about that. You're not hurt, are you?
Law? What on Dana are you doing?
What am I doing? Training, obviously. I found these nice and heavy rocks that I decided to strap onto my arms, but I guess I didn't tie them down good enough because they went flying.
So you were doing improvised weight training. You and your crazy ideas.
I can't help it. If I'm not training, it's easy for me to get anxious.
Well, that's fair. Actually, I remember seeing you practicing your forms for some time when we were camping the other day.
Yep. No amount of muscle will do you any good if you don't stay on top of your fighting forms. It always feels good when I know I'm still sharp.
Sounds to me like you have too much pent-up energy.
Don't train so hard that you wind up hurting yourself, Law. I promise you, you're already perfectly strong as it is.
No, I'm not. You never know what we'll run into out there. You can never go into a fight too prepared. And that's the truth. Besides, I won't rest until I know that I'm stronger than you, Alphen.
Oh, I see how it is. Well, I don't plan on letting you beat me. Maybe I'll add some weights to my sword and practice swinging it. That should help out.
Alphen, are you crazy?
You're right. This does make for decent training. Good call with the extra weight, Law.
Right? Now you get it?
Since we've already come this far, what do you say we have a little one-on-one with our rocks strapped on?
Hell yeah! I'm down for that! Just give me a second, I'll be all ready to roll. Okay, I'm all set. Let's do this! Take this!
I'm just getting started.
Our camp is completely wrecked!
Go. You two are cleaning it up.
Yes,
Shion.
This came out so good, I almost hate having to eat it.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
Shouldn't you be resting?
I wanted to talk with you for a bit.
I don't really want to talk right now.
Right. I'll, stop bothering you then.
I didn't say you were bothering me. Sorry. Don't take it personally. I'm just not used to being around other people, so I don't really know how to chit-chat.
Well, for a start, you let your guard down a little. Hey, here's a thought. What if you tell me about your childhood?
What with my thorns and all, I didn't really have one. Not to speak of, anyway. Although, I guess I did have one friend.
Who was it?
A really old doll.
Oh.
When I was a little girl, the doll was the only thing I could touch and hold without worrying about my thorns hurting it. I would do things like dress it up or sit it on my lap when I was eating. The two of us were practically inseparable.
Can I ask something?
Is it about the fact that I played with dolls?
No, it isn't. I only wanted to ask who gave you the doll in the first place.
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Where is it now?
I had to leave it behind when I left Lenegus. I didn't have a choice. Most likely it's long gone at this point. I think it's time we go to sleep. Morning. Ready to head out?